Good late afternoon, Pioneer fans. Welcome to Bowling Green, Kentucky, Western Kentucky University. Nick Dean's Field on the campus of Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers here about an hour north of Nashville, Tennessee, where today's game has turned into an Intra Squad game between the blue and red teams for the Pioneers of Volunteer State. Originally it was scheduled as a 9-inning contest against Southwest Illinois College, but apparently there was a bit of a mix-up with the scheduling with SWIC, as they're known, Southwest Illinois College. And when confirmation was attempting to be made with SWIC by WKU and Vol State, they did not have today's game on their schedule. So instead of canceling the entire event, head coach Jim McGuire made the decision, along with the coaching staff of Western Kentucky, to go ahead and travel on up to Bowling Green, play an inter-squad game. So this will be an 8 or 9 inning contest, as I understand it, a little bit different than a regular game against an opponent, separate and apart from an inter-squad game. So today's game will feature, I think, 11 players, position players for one team, and I think 10 for another. I'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups as they are proposed, as Coach McGuire has laid out the parameters for today's inter-squad game. So for the visiting blue squad, Zach Zimmerly will lead off, and he will play center field for about half the game, and then he'll move to shortstop for the latter part of the contest. Corbin Overbay will bat second and play second base. Landon Luderman batting third, playing third, and then he'll move to behind the plate. Brody Melton, he'll also play a couple different positions and hit cleanup. He'll play first and then third. Reed Mashinsky batting fifth, playing right field, then move over to center field. Carson Sanders will bat sixth, be the DH, and also play first base. Gage Hoover and Luke Lawson will bat in the seventh position in the 10-man order for the blue team. They will play left field, probably alternate, or maybe one play the first 4 or 5 innings, and then the other will play the last half of the game. Nathan Aguilar, shortstop, batting eighth. He'll also DH. Tyler Holsworth hitting in the 9 spot. He will DH only. He will not play in the field. He is recuperating from labrum surgery. And Cam Hodges will also bat in that 9th spot, and he will play right field in the latter part of the game. Lex Falsoni will be behind the plate, and he will bat 10th, also DH when Landon Luderman comes in. And on the mound for the blue squad, sophomore left-hander Parker White. Each of the pitchers, I understand, will probably go an inning depending on how well their inning is going. So that will to be determined. Now for the red squad, the home team for today's inter-squad matchup. Reggie Cooper leading off, playing center field. Stephen Bell playing right field, and he'll bat second. Drew Webster batting third, playing left field. Jacob Hyder will be behind the plate, and he will hit cleanup. Cannon Lewis batting fifth. He will DH and also play first base. Noah Ward will start the game at first base, hitting sixth, and then move to DH. Walker Strange holding down the hot corner at third base, batting seventh. Drew Plummer will be in the 8th spot, and he will play shortstop. Thedrick Harris and Connor Paul will be the DHs. They will bat in the 9th position, and Jack McLaury and Cooper Wallace will hit in the 10th position. Jack McLaury will play second base in the contest. Cooper Wallace will be the designated hitter. And on the mound for the red squad, Caleb Pika, sophomore left-hander. So 2 left-handers opposing each other here at Western Kentucky for today's red-blue inter-squad matchup. See head coach Jim McGuire just walking over to the red dugout. We will not have umpires today, and not sure, I assume that J.C. Menendez, one of the catchers who is injured at this point, has a hand issue, and in inter-squad games back at Pioneer Field at the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex in Gallatin, he has been the umpire that will stand behind pitcher's mound, call balls and strikes. So if you see some different things today, chalk it up to an inter-squad matchup. Let me just tell you ahead of the game, J.C. Menendez will do his best as the umpire, but it is not easy to, A, call a baseball game when they are your peers umpiring, and it's also not easy to umpire from behind the pitcher. So those are the lineups for today's inter-squad matchup. So a little bit different than we thought would be happening here, but beautiful view here on the campus of Western Kentucky University. 330 down the lines, 370 in the alleys, and 400 to dead center field. And they have been very gracious to allow me to broadcast from their press box. So it's very comfortable up here. The garage door windows, at least the main one right in the middle, is up, and there's a nice little breeze coming through for me, so appreciate their hospitality here. As apparently we had a false start on the team coming out onto the field. We had a redo there. You see Caleb Pika coming out to take his warm-up tosses. He will pitch to Lex Falsoni. I'm sorry, he will not. He'll pitch to Jacob Hyder. Caleb Pika, 6'7", 185-pound sophomore from Nashville, John T. Overton High School. 2022 graduate, an exercise science major, son of John and April Pika. His younger brother Jordan and a younger sister Reagan. Papa and a grandma in Fairbury, Illinois. And Papa and a grandma also in, is it Pesotum, P-E-S-O-T-U-M, Illinois. So I guess when we go to Illinois this next week, maybe there's a chance he's got some family that will show up. Pioneers on Sunday will travel to Carterville, Illinois. I believe that's where John A. Logan Community College is located. The first of 3 showcases, back-to-back-to-back weekends. Have to pull out the schedule. I believe it's Fair. I can't remember the name of that team that All-State will be playing. There we go. Lincoln Trail and Frontier in the first showcase. Following weekend at MTSU, Columbia State, Motlow State, then State Fair, Missouri, and Frontier, Illinois. We are ready to go as Zach Zimmerly steps in to face Caleb Pika. First pitch swinging, Zimmerly comes up empty on a high fastball, and we are underway at 4:59, 82 degrees here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Pika misses high with that pitch. There we go. Now we got the scoreboard running. Two balls and a strike, says J.C. Menendez, our home plate umpire. Five o'clock bells ringing. There's a called strike. Zimmerly looks at strike 2. Zach from Hendersonville, Tennessee, a redshirt freshman. Also one of 2 coaches that has helped Team Reese in the full count fall league. Zach Zimmerly will just walk off. He didn't even wait for JC to call him out. Backwards K on the score sheet. Caleb Pica gets his first strikeout of the ball game. Zach Zimmerly and Drew Webster, first-year coaches with Team Reese in the full count high school fall league in Sumner County. Strike called to Corbin Overbay from Sevier County, Sevierville, Tennessee. Overbay 3 for 3 in the ball game against Lindsey Wilson Junior Varsity on Saturday. Had a double, scored 2 runs and 3 RBIs. He is now 4 for 10 in the fall. On deck, Landon Luderman, who went big fly the other day against Lindsey Wilson. Drew Webster in left, Reggie Cooper in center, Stephen Bell in right. Walker Strange at third, Drew Plummer at short. That ball is fouled off to the right side, and it will get into the street. Not sure if Coach McGuire's got some players out there ready to get foul balls, but ball field is located right on a main road here in Bowling Green. Pitch bounced to the plate. Jack McLaury at second, Noah Ward at first base, and Jacob Hyder behind the dish catching the tall, thin Caleb Pica, who can get it up there. Here's a nice breaking pitch that they said Overbay went. JC said yes, but the boss, Jim McGuire, says no, he didn't. Shane Kemp coaching down at first base. Coach McGuire is coaching third base, but he's leaning up against the dugout wall, and that'll be a strike 3. So Overbay looks at a full count, Ministries full count, and he will go down looking. That's 2 strikeouts of the backward variety in the score sheet. And now Landon Luderman will step to the plate. Sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee. He swings at a breaking pitch, comes up empty. Luderman 2 for 3 with a double and a home run in game 1 against Lindsey Wilson on Saturday. 3 RBIs. He was 1 for 4 in the 9-inning contest against Cumberland's JV up in Lebanon. He is 3 for 10 in the 3 games he's played. Strike called on the outside corner. Pica, who has had some control issues, not exhibiting that here today, did go full count 1, so he gets a 3 strikeout inning for his inning of work. 1, 2, 3, down goes the blue squad. And I would assume that's all that Caleb Pica will face today. So we'll see what the red squad can do against the left-handed throwing Parker White. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese back at Western Kentucky University, where the Pioneers playing an inter-squad game between the blue squad and the red squad. Parker White will pitch the bottom of the first inning. He'll face Reggie Cooper. First pitch misses high and outside to the sophomore transfer from Cleveland State. He'll look at a called strike on the inside corner there. Cooper 1 for 1, had 2 walks and a hit by a pitch as he fouls that one off the screen. In game 1 against Lindsey Wilson on Saturday, scored 3 runs on base all 4 times in that ball game. 2 for 5 so far with 3 walks. Another foul ball off to the right side. Cooper from Stewart's Creek High School, Smyrna, Tennessee. Another foul ball, and pitchers who are chasing foul balls pretty happy that one hit on the screen. I'm sure there's a lot of baseballs that are lost here. Probably a number of windshields hit. Cars are driving by here. Cooper 6'2", 195 pounds, sophomore. Exercise science major, and White delivers. He gets a swing and a miss on a off-speed pitch. 4 batters have come to the plate here, and the pitchers are ruling. Left-handed hitting Stephen Bell, another transfer. Sophomore, also from the greater Nashville area, Ravenwood High School in Brentwood, Tennessee, steps to the plate. You look at a strike called. There we go. We'll get the crowd mic going. One ball, one strike. The ground ball right back to Parker White. He runs it halfway over there and underhands to his buddy Brody Melton for out number 2. First ball put in play. Goes to Stephen Bell. So 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Coach Drew Webster. Lost in the playoffs yesterday. We were a 15 seed, playing the 2 seed. Great having Drew and Zach with Team Reese this year. Wilson Reese and myself. Wilson, my son, took over during the year. I think our umpire called that one low and in. 2 balls and no strikes to Drew Webster playing left field. On deck, Jacob Hyder. Popped up, that'll get out of play, and that will get onto the street. Ground ball slowly hit the Luderman in the third. He gloves and throws over to Melton for out number 3. 6 up, 6 down. 3 for each squad after 1 inning. There's no score. You're watching on YouTube and Twitter, the Vol State Sports Network. New pitcher on for the Red Squad, Noah Eatman, a right-hander from Parrish, Florida. He's on for his 3rd appearance of the fall. Through 2 innings against the Cumberland JV squad in the very first game of the year. Gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts in game 1 this past Saturday. He threw 1 inning, struck out 2 batters, did not give up a hit or a run. Noah with a great year this past spring as a freshman. He will be counted upon in the spring of 24. 14 appearances this past year, 1 start, 3-1 record, also had a save. 28 innings of work, 27 strikeouts, a 3.86 ERA. Brody Melton, Reed Mashinsky, and Carson Sanders, 3 right-handers, due here in the 2nd inning to face Noah Eatman. First pitch, this is low and away to Melton. Brody, a hot start in the fall. Game 1 was 2 for 3 with a double and a triple. Scored 3 runs and hit by a pitch. Been 0 for 5 in the last until that one. If it stays fair, it will not. It will go foul by a couple feet down that left field line. Drew Webster picks it up, tosses it back into the infield. Brody Melton from Tullahoma, Tennessee. He's a sophomore. First baseman, 3rd baseman. Strong young man, got a lot of pop. 6'4", 205-pound sophomore. Eatman from the stretch delivers. There's a breaking pitch on the outside corner. Nice pitch. Let's get that foul ball up there, and the count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Melton, the son of Sam Melton and Amy Morris, both of Tullahoma. Got in 19 games for head coach Jim McGuire in the spring. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. It's one out to right center field. Reggie Cooper moves over, as well as Stephen Bell, and they come together in right center field. Stephen Bell makes the catch, the right fielder, for out number 1. Those two have played a little bit together here in the fall. Couldn't hear from high in the press box here, but I would assume they were communicating out there. Reggie did not attempt to make the grab there. Reed Mashinsky, right fielder from Bradenton, Florida, steps to the plate. Reed wearing the number 14 this year. 2 for 3 on Saturday in game 2. Had a triple, a walk, and that one will go foul down the right field line. He has been wearing out the opposite field this fall. He's got 2 triples thus far in the fall, and both of those have been in that right field corner. He is 4 for 7. Fastball stays up. 2 balls and a strike. Another fly ball out to shallow right center field. 3 converge. Reggie Cooper will take this one. Center fielder, and Eatman has set down the first 2 that he's faced. Fly out to right and a fly out to center. It brings up Carson Sanders, freshman out of Clarksville, Tennessee. He was 2 for 2 on Saturday. Scored 3 runs, also walked. A little bit outside, says umpire J.C. Menendez. Eatman looking to do what his teammates Caleb Pika and Parker White have done. Retired the 3 batters that he faces. Apparently that one missed. JC says, shakes his head no. 3 balls, no strikes to Carson Sanders. 3-0 swinging is Sanders. He fouls that one off of his lower body. Carson 5'11", 200 pounds. A biology major, the son of Jared and Jill Sanders. Doctors each, both dentists at Fort Campbell Army Base. His younger sister Claire and grandparents in Alba and Houston, Texas. He takes a walk. Don't know that he wanted a walk, as Sanders now the first base runner of the contest. Gage Hoover steps in. Gage, another freshman. 0 for 3 in game 2 on Saturday. Now 4 for 9 as he came out hot in the 2 games. This is game number 4 out of 6 for the fall. Playing left field part-time. He and Luke Lawson will handle the left field duties for the Blue Squad. He drives one in the right field. That will get down. Hoover on with the first hit of the ball game. Stephen Bell up with it. He'll hit the cutoff man. 2 outs. And runners at first and second. So Hoover gets back on track with a base hit to right field. Nathan Aguilar, who has been hot this fall, steps in, another freshman from Rockvale High School. Playing in his 4th game as well, was 2 for 3 in game 2 on Saturday. Breaking pitch called strike on that outside corner. Got a hit in each of the 3 games that he's played in. He's played in game 1, 3, and 5. 1 for 2, 2 for 2, and 2 for 3 is Nathan Aguilar. Strong, powerful middle infielder. Fouls that one off. Gonna have a tough road if he's gonna unseat Logan Molnar at shortstop. As Molnar had a great freshman year after not starting at shortstop. Ended up coming on until he injured his shoulder sliding into third base, and that put him out for the season. Ended up having labrum surgery, and he is still rehabbing from that. Can take some ground balls and throw in the infield, but is not hitting in competition at this point. Aguilar, 5'8", 200-pound freshman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Business management major, the son of Reynario and Ivania Aguilar, older brother Henry and an older sister Jocelyn. Parents are from Nicaragua. There's a base hit in the center field. Aguilar just keeps on hitting. Cooper's throw is offline and gets off the glove of Noah Ward. Nobody at the plate right now, but Jack McLaury comes in. Noah Eatman retrieves the ball, and there's an RBI single. Both runners move up, and there's the Framework Athletics first run of the game for the Blue Squad. An RBI single for Nathan Aguilar. Young man is just hitting. Tyler Holsworth steps to the plate. 2 hits following a walk and 2 outs. Noah Eatman delivers a pitch wide of the mark, but it gets a nice bounce back to the plate. Jacob Hyder able to retrieve that one and keep Gage Hoover down at third base. Eatman retired the first two batters he faced. Fly out to right, fly out to center. But a walk and a single to right and a single up the middle. Have plated 1 and 2 more in scoring position. And a 2-0 count now to the Norcross, Georgia native Tyler Holsworth. Count now goes 3 balls and no strikes as Noah Eatman is struggling just a bit here in the top of the second inning. 1 pitch will get him out of it. Holsworth will not take a 3-0 hack. Looks at a fastball outside corner. Has a base open with Lex Falsoni on deck, but I'm sure he's going to try to go right at the redshirt sophomore Tyler Holsworth, who fouls that one off. Tyler tried to give it a go last fall. Had a really good fall season, but had some pain in that right shoulder and ended up being a torn labrum. He'll face a full count. Ministries full count. And just for the fun of it, he'll take a hit by pitch instead of a walk. Put him on first base, and that will end the inning as Coach McGuire says, well, that's enough. So hit by pitch, bases loaded, will end the inning as Noah Eatman will end up with 2/3 of an inning thrown. So we will move on to the bottom of the second inning. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Brett Dowling, the new pitcher for the Blue Squad. Sophomore out of Green Hill High School in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. 6'2", 195-pound, hard-throwing right-hander, computer science major, son of Chad and Shelley Dowling. Has a granddaddy from right here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, or who lives right here. I'm not sure if he's from here, but grandma in Portland, Poppy in Madison, Alabama, and a nana in Central City, Kentucky. Muhlenberg County, home of the Muhlenberg County Stallions in the Ohio Valley League. Let's see what Dowling has done this fall. Game 2 of the Cumberland JV first series. He came in relief through 2 innings, gave up a walk, struck out 2. Started the second game on Saturday against Lindsey Wilson and threw 1 inning and gave up 1 walk, retiring 3 of the 4 batters. First pitch swinging, Jacob Hyder. Fouls that one off to the left side. Hyder from Boone County, Kentucky. Freshman. Is scheduled to catch every inning for the Red Squad here. He's played in 3 games so far. Went 1 for 3 on Saturday, had a double, a walk, and an RBI. 2 for 6 thus far with 5 walks. The 3-1 count to Jacob Hyder after fouling the first pitch off. The next 3 wide of the mark, and now ball 4s. Dowling has walked Hyder, so the red team gets their first base runner. Cannon Lewis, the DH, steps to the plate from Beach High School in Sumner County, Hendersonville, Tennessee. 3rd year of college baseball. A redshirt sophomore transfer from Roane State Community College. He swings at the first pitch he sees, and it's a line drive into center field. 2 men on for the Red Squad, as Lewis delivers the first hit of the ball game for Team Red. That is Cannon's 4th hit of the fall. Now 4 for 10. Brings to the plate Noah Ward, who's looking for his first hit of the fall. Nobody out, 2 men on. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Brett Dowling looking for a do-dat double play off the bat of Noah Ward with Walker Strange on deck. Fastball misses up. Dowling has the sign from Lex Falsoni. A couple looks back at second base, and he delivers a pitch right down the can. And Ward apparently not looking for a fastball right down the middle. Takes that pitch, goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here at Nick Deans Field, D-E-N-E-S Field, right on the campus of Western Kentucky, here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. There's a tapper that will fall out of the glove of Dowling, but he will flip to Melton to get the out at first base. Works like a sacrifice bunt, but for Noah Ward counts as an 0 for 1. Didn't get one hit hard enough to turn the double play, Dowling, but he does get an out. Walker Strange steps to the plate. Redshirt freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, and according to Paul White, the father of Parker White, Walker and Parker, good friends and played ball together since they were little. Got to see Walker play this summer when he played for the Full Count Rhythm in the Ohio Valley League. Walker hit a no-down home run on Saturday and fouls that one off. That will catch the screen on the right side. MGM Industries foul ball. Walker 3 for 6 in the 3 games he has played thus far. He had 4 RBIs on Saturday. Infield playing in. It's another foul ball, and that will get into the street. I sure hope there are guys already over there. Make it a whole lot easier to retrieve those foul balls. They have a couple spotters up here, looks like Garrett Bruce and R.J. Moore that are up in the stands looking out over onto the street to help the guys that are hopefully on the ground down there to find those baseballs. 1-2 pitch. Fastball up. On deck, Drew Plummer. Walker, 6'1", 215-pound redshirt freshman. Played his high school baseball at Christian Academy of Knoxville. Transferring from Lipscomb University and nearly gets hit with that breaking pitch. Count moves to a full count. Ministries. Full count. Landon Luderman, Nathan Aguilar, Corbin Overbay, and Brody Melton infield left to right, playing in to try to cut down Jacob Hyder, who is leading off third base. Red Squad trying to tie this one up. There's a breaking pitch in there for a called strike, and down goes Walker Strange for out number 2 in the inning. Dowling trying to get out of the second. Gets his first strikeout. Infield will move back to regular depth. You see that shadow that has creeped across home plate. There's a ground ball off the mound and then off the glove of Nathan Aguilar. The throw to the plate is not in time to get the Superman slide of Cannon Lewis. And the Framework Athletics first runs of the game for the Red Squad. Scored by Cannon Lewis and Jacob Hyder. Jacob Hyder came in first. That's one of those, is that going to have to give that one, I think, an error on Nathan Aguilar. Hit off of the mound, but he had a reasonable chance to glove that one. So 2 unearned runs charged to Brett Dowling. There's a breaking pitch to Thedrick Harris in there for a called strike. Hard hit ball by Plummer. Pretty sure that Aguilar would tell you that he should have had it. Breaking pitch swung on and missed, and Falsoni eats that one. As Plummer gets a stolen base and now in scoring position. Thedrick had a big day on Saturday. Went 3 for 4, had a double, 2 RBIs, scored 3 runs. Taps that one foul. Stay alive in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Harris, a redshirt freshman. He's also from John T. Overton High School. 6'2", 215-pound exercise science major. Son of Thedrick Harris Sr. in Shreveport, Louisiana, and Clarissa Harris in Nashville. Hello to grandmother in Minden, Louisiana. Checking out the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube. There's a called strike on the outside corner, and Cedric Harris goes down on strikes. So 2 backward Ks in the book, but in between there, start the inning off a walk and a single after a ground out back to the pitcher and a strikeout. Drew Plummer with a hard hit ball that hit just off the back edge of pitcher's mound, and then took, I guess, a little bit of a hop back to Nathan Aguilar. May have handcuffed him a bit, but ended up getting a pretty good amount of glove on that one, but just not able to get that one secured in order to throw on to first base. So 2 runs unearned on 1 hit. There's 1 error and 1 runner left on base. So no runs scored in the first by either team, and each team tallied in the second. Blue squad with 1 in the top of the second, and the red team 2 in the bottom. Take a quick break, tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the Ball. Tim Reese back at WKU for the Inter Squad game. It's supposed to have been a game against the Southwest Illinois College Junior College squad, but a scheduling snafu, and they were not able to make it today. So Coach Jim McGuire talked with the Hilltopper coaching staff, and they said, come on and we'll do an inter-squad game. So that is, in fact, what we're doing. A red versus a blue. The new pitcher for the red squad, left-hander sophomore Caden Johnson, 6'3", 200-pound sophomore out of Huntsville, Alabama, son of Joe and Shayna Johnson. He is on for his 3rd appearance of the spring. He's thrown 3 innings, giving up 1 hit, 1 run, walked 4 batters. He will face 10, 1, and 2 of the blue squad. Lex Falsoni, Zach Zimmerly, and Corbin Overbay scheduled here in the top of the 3rd inning. Started at 82 degrees here. Falsoni hits one high and deep in the left field. Drew Webster still going back, and he makes the catch 2 steps from the wall. Nice play by Drew Webster to take extra bases away from Falsoni. Webster just kept going back and kept going back, and makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Put a star by that one. We're out number 1. Zach Zimmerly steps in. His 2nd plate appearance. Fastball right down the middle. Zach struck out looking. One of 3 strikeout victims in the 1st inning. Facing Caleb Pika, and he faces another hard-throwing left-hander here. Breaking pitch misses. Drew Webster, Reggie Cooper, and Stephen Bell, the outfielders, left to right. Johnson took a year off last year, and 2022 was one of the top pitchers at probably 3/4 of the season for Coach McGuire as a true freshman. Had a little bit of trouble with that right there. throwing strikes, had 25 walks in 37 2/3 innings, 2022. Tied for the lead with the most starts. As that pitch apparently up. Zimmerly will take the walk. So a 1-out walk to Zach Zimmerly brings up Corbin Overbay. He also struck out looking in the first. Not sure if Corbin has worked on drag bunting much at all, as a strike's called there on an inside pitch. I believe he runs relatively well, and Walker Strange right now playing back at third base. Not a bad time to try to lay one down. Slide step by Johnson. Breaking pitch misses outside. Caden led the squad in 2022 with 37 strikeouts. Couple looks over to Zimmerly at first and delivers. And now goes to 2 balls and a strike. Landon Luderman standing on deck. Overbay got in 13 games in the spring for Pioneers. Pops that one up in the infield. That is playable as Melton looks, Noah Ward dancing around out there. This Jack McGlory, the second baseman, he's a freshman and Noah is a sophomore, so I would say that probably was McGlory's pop-up, but Noah ended up making the catch. Route number 2. And Luderman will face left-hander once again. I think only about 6 left-handed hitters for Vol State this year. Last year, 4. Only 2 on this blue squad. Foul ball that will get off to the left of the press box. That might get into the parking lot. That's a very small parking lot right next to the hitting facility here at Nick Dean's Field. 2 outs, 1 on, 1-1 count to Luderman. That will get over the head of Jacob Hyder, and down to second base goes Zimmerly on the wild pitch. Breaking pitch, he just didn't get enough downward motion on before he let that one go. Brody Melton on deck. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. That's one that Landon's going to have to let go. He hit one up in the pine trees at Pioneer Field on Saturday. It was a no-doubter. Had to have landed in the Gap Distribution Center's parking lot. There's some tall pine trees in around Pioneer Field. Almost the same pitch right there, and he decided not to take a hack. A full count Ministries full count. Big celebration banquet a week from today at Long Hollow Church. Go on fullcountministries.com and check out the ministry. It's all about baseball. As Drew Plummer had a pickoff of Zach Zimmerly in mind, but Caden Johnson never even looked back. And that's his second walk of the inning. Brody Melton will step in. Drew's now coming to talk to Caden. So these teammates will try to learn each other's habits, and Zimmerly might have been prime right there for a pickoff. He didn't move back to second base at all when Plummer moved to the bag. Not sure if a sign was given by the catcher or not, but 2 outs, 2 on, Brody Melton. Look at a fastball up. Brody flew out to Stephen Bell, the right fielder, in right center field to lead off the second. Reed Mashinsky standing on deck. Johnson struggling with the zone right now. Two outs, 2 on, 2-0. Breaking pitch misses down and in. Johnson looks back at second, nothing going on there. He's going to bring the pitch. That'll be a strike called. Melton looking to have another great fall and then carry that into the spring in 2024. That's a deep fly ball to left field. Drew Webster will head back there, but he won't be able to make this catch. That one gets into the bullpen, and Brody Melton just hit a 3-run big fly with 2 outs. It gives the Blue Squad a 4-2 lead. Brody's first home run of the fall and 3 more RBIs. Brings up Reed Mashinsky with nobody on and 2 outs. Breaking pitch called strike. Well hit ball, but I think he might have got it a little bit off the handle. Didn't sound like he got it all. There's a line drive into center field, and that will get down in front of Reggie Cooper. Mashinsky will reach, and that will end the inning. Just as the Red Squad left bases loaded, the Blue Squad will leave a runner on, as head coach Jim McGuire says that'll be enough for Caden Johnson, who ends up with 2/3 of an inning. I'm sorry, that's the blue team both times. So 4-2, we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Take a quick break. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete called to the bullpen for the blue squad. Mason Raffoff, another left-hander transfer from Bevel State. Get his 1 inning of work here against the red squad. He's 6'3", 165 pounds. Needs to eat a few more Chick-fil-A chicken biscuits, I think. He's a sophomore from Columbia, Tennessee, Columbia Academy. A business major, the son of Dale and Kim Raffoff. His older brother James pitched at Vol State in the COVID year in 2020. Transferred and moved on to Union University. Left-hander Mason Raffoff will throw to left-handed hitting Jack McLaury. I believe JC called that one out. McLaury, the 10th batter in the inning, and he will lace a base hit into center field. Zach Zimmerly up with it, and a leadoff single for Jack McLaury. Second hit by the red squad. Top of the order, Reggie Cooper stands in. He struck out swinging in the first. Jack McLaury from Independence High School. Son of a high school head coach. He's a two-way player, and don't know that he's pitching today. Playing second base. And laces a line drive into center field. Cooper now looking at 2-ball, no-strike count. Mike McLaury is the head coach at Independence High School. They live in Las Casas, Tennessee. Independence is, I think, down in Franklin, Williamson County. Las Casas, I believe, is in Rutherford County. 3-0 now to Reggie Cooper with Stephen Bell on deck. Mason Raffoff getting himself in a little bit of trouble here with not throwing strikes. Ball 4. First 2 reach. Stephen Bell, who grounded out back to the pitcher, will step in with nobody out. 2 runners on. Raffoff getting his 3rd game in the fall. Gets a called strike. Raffoff pitched in 1 inning of a 22-1 shellacking of the Cumberland JV squad. Walked 2. And he will throw to second base on a lackadaisical pickoff attempt. That's what you get when you may get penalized by stepping off the rubber and not throwing to a base. Mason also pitched in an inning on Saturday in game 2, game that Vol State defeated Lindsey Wilson 16-4. There's a swing and a miss by Bell, and he's now down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes on a slow curveball. Bell runs well, but if Raffoff can get him to ground sharply to Overbay at second base, they have a good chance of turning a doodat. Communications, double play. A couple looks back at second, and that one will hit Stephen Bell. That will load the bases. An 0-2 hit by a pitch. So Jack McLaury leads off with a base hit up the middle. A walk to Reggie Cooper, and a hit batter for Stephen Bell brings up 3-hole hitter Drew Webster. Grounded out to third base in the first. Two spotters up in the stands for foul balls have been replaced. Looks like Parker White and Brett Dowling, two have already pitched today. Swing and a miss by Webster. Breaking pitch inside. Webster, a 6'2", 190-pound sophomore. Attended Christ Presbyterian Academy in Nashville as a business administration major. Son of Rustin and Gail Webster. Strike two. Drew played in 9 games, got 1 start in the spring, hit .222, had 4 hits, 2 were doubles. Walked 4 times. And he will swing and miss on a off-speed pitch, and he's the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jacob Hyder steps in with 1 out and bases loaded. 4-2, the blue squad leads the red squad. Big 3-run homer by Brody Melton in the top of the 3rd. Put the Blues up by a pair. It's the 6 o'clock bell ringing here on campus. Nice block by Falsoni. Gage Hoover still out in left field. Zach Zimmerly in center. Reed Mashinsky in right. Landon Luderman at 3rd. Nathan Aguilar at short. Corbin Overbay and Brody Melton on the right side of the infield. Foul ball. That will get over the press box as Jack McLaury had about 3 or 4 hard steps coming down that 3rd base line. I think as Jim McGuire, head coach, Jim McGuire's coaching 3rd base, is talking to Mason Raffoff, the pitcher, giving a little instruction right now. I'm sure that Coach McGuire told McLaury to do it. He had 3 or 4 hard steps coming down that line. Raffoff appeared as though he didn't even see him. Breaking pitch misses right over the top of Jacob Hyder. Count goes 3 balls and a strike to the red squad catcher. Saw him put one up in the trees in right field, a Pioneer Field, in an inter squad game. Another strong young man. Takes a healthy hack at that. Comes up empty, and we'll have a full count. Ministries full count. Cannon Lewis, another strong hitter, standing on deck. Raffoff gets a check swing, and J.C. Mendez checks with Jim McGuire down at the 3rd base coaching box, who says yes, he did go. So back-to-back strikeouts for Raffoff. He is trying to wiggle off the hook with the bases loaded. Cannon Lewis will see a strike on the outside corner. Raffoff looks like he's gotten a little energy back with 2 strikeouts. After giving up a hit, a walk, and a hit batter. Noah Ward on deck. Cannon Lewis, 6 foot, 215-pound redshirt sophomore. So the pitch down low. Count goes 2 balls and a strike. It's a business management major, Cannon Lewis, son of Ryan and Daphne Lewis. It's a grandpa and a grandma in Hendersonville, and a papa and a granny also in Hendersonville. That's a strike called at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the shadows have crept over pitcher's mound and home plate now. Outfielders and second, short, and third are still in the sun. 2-2 pitch, swung on a miss, and Raffoff comes back to strike out 3 in a row after allowing the first 3 to reach. A lot of tenacity there by the thin lefty. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 runners left on base by the Red Squad. We are through 3. I think we're going to try to play 9. Might be 8 or 9 here at Western Kentucky. Let's take a break and tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reeves back at WKU, where a special listener is just giving me a text. My man Chase Birdwell, number 27, the pride of Lebanon High School. One of 5 of the original Vol State 242 group. The Full Count Ministries Discipleship group started here or at Vol State. Bird, we got 10 guys this year that wanted to follow in your footsteps. You and Country Cade McKee and Cade Sanders, Ethan Huddleston, and the Lieutenant Landon Tucker. The 5 OGs of the Vol State 242 group. That 242 is modeled after the 2nd chapter, 42nd verse of the book of Acts, where apostles gathered together for training and fellowship and breaking of bread and prayer, just as we did at Chick-fil-A in Gallatin week after week, as Trent Miller steps on the mound for his inning of work. He faces Carson Sanders, who fouls the first offering off to the right side. And Bird sent me a nice text, said he's listening in. Probably in Murfreesboro. There's a breaking pitch just a little bit out. Carson Sanders walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Miller, a freshman from Greenbrier High School. Hard thrower, delivers a breaking pitch nicely on that outside corner. 6'4", 235-pound right-hander. General Studies major, the son of Bill and Treva Miller. Older sisters Presley and Kendall. Sanders fouls that fastball off to the right side. That might get over under the train tracks that are here at WKU. Bird, you ever been up here to WKU and played a ball game? 3-year letterman at Vol State. And Bird did it all. He didn't just sit around and play in the bullpen as a relief pitcher. He early on was also a hitter. Could play some second base and could play anywhere, really. Breaking pitch high that's swung on and missed, and Sanders goes down on pitch outside of the strike zone. Chase Birdwell was his 3rd year, his redshirt sophomore year last spring. Used quite a lot as a closer and a back into the bullpen. First pitch to Luke Lawson, who's getting his first at-bat. Luke Lawson, a freshman out of Knoxville, Tennessee, Halls High School. Fastball misses up. Chase Birdwell, 16 appearances, tied for the top spot for Vol State this past spring. He and Quick Cade Sanders had 16 appearances. Bird had 3 saves, 25 innings, 35 strikeouts. That's a pretty high strikeout to innings pitched ratio there. Only gave up 13 hits. Miller tried to step on one there and landed in the turf. It's an all artificial turf field here at Nick Dean's Field. Chase Birdwell finishes last year with a 3-2 record. Lawson goes down a floor to get out of the way of that high breaking pitch. Brings us to a full count. Ministries. Full count. And there you go, is a full count first pitch foul ball off to the right side. Luke Lawson and Gage Hoover are swapping the 7th position in the batting order for the Blue Squad. Hoover singled in his plate appearance. Luke Lawson trying to get aboard here, and he gets a ground ball right back to Miller, one hop. Lawson can fly. Underhand toss to first base. Gets him. So 2 up, 2 down in the 4th inning. Brings up Nathan Aguilar. He singled in the 2nd. Trent Miller has a mamaw and a nanny. Now, he didn't tell me where they're from. Not sure if we even have our chats going today. Just a bit outside of the zone. The count's 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on, and drive out to right center field. Cooper and Bell will come together again. Bell will make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Trent Miller. And we are headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. Not sure if Coach McGuire's got 18 pitchers, so we might not be going 9, but we'll go till he says we're done. It's always great to hear from Chase Birdwell, and it's been a long time since May when we got to see each other last. So, Bird, I hope to see you again real soon. Just give me a call, and I'll even buy lunch. Take a break, tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the Vol State Sports Network. Moving to the bottom of the fourth inning, fourth pitcher for the Blue Squad. It is Caden Blackford, wearing Connor Paul's blue practice jersey. They have been left back at the locker room, or I'm sure there's a story there. I'm going to write number 38 in my book. It's the number he's supposed to be wearing, but you'll see a number 32 back there. Caden is a redshirt freshman, 6'2", 175 pounds, from our nation's capital in Tennessee, White House, Tennessee, White House High School. General Studies major, the son of Jeff and Kim Blackford, brother to Alexa and Davis, grandson of Pop in Ridgetop and Nana in Foley, Alabama. Lex Falsone takes advantage of the artificial turf and gets a nice bounce, but if Caden Blackford had been standing on the mound when that throw was delivered, he would have been hit right in the belt, I believe. Noah Ward, Walker Strange, Drew Plummer scheduled to face Caden Blackford. First pitch fouled down the right field line. Let's see if that one gets a car off the top of a white SUV. That's a problem. Coach McGuire says, well, we still got to go get it. Nobody wants to go face the driver of the SUV who has taken off. Ward able to hold up as that sweeping breaking pitch misses outside. Bird says he has been up here to Western Kentucky to play a couple times. This is just outside. Ward grounded out to the pitcher, his first plate appearance. We're going to see Chase Birdwell at the MTSU showcase here in a couple weeks. Chase, we'll get you on the headset, baby. We'll get you up in the press box. You can be my analyst for those two games. Love to have you. A strike called is would have been a tough pitch to swing at. We will have a Chase Birdwell, Full Count Ministries, full count. As ball misses up and Ward reaches to begin the bottom of the fourth inning. Walker Strange steps in. Blackford's third appearance of the fall. Another breaking pitch misses low and away. Caden threw 2/3 of an inning in game one of the fall against the Cumberland Junior Varsity squad. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs that were unearned. Did walk 2 as he's walked his first batter here. Strange fouls that one at the plate. Did get a strikeout, but could not finish that inning. It was a game where Cumberland JV scored 6 runs in the 7th inning to come back and defeat Vol State 9-7 in game one. It's the only game that Pioneers have lost this fall. 4-1 now. Scored a lot of runs in 3 of those games. 22-1, 17-0, and 16-4 in 3 of those 4 ball games. Blackford also pitched in game 2 last Saturday. Through an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs that were earned, did walk a batter. So control has been an issue. Foul ball, and that will get onto the street. Apparently does not catch a car. Lights are on here at the ball field. Guess it's actually considered right on the edge of campus. But you can see, assume those are dorms. When we go to the wide shot out in center field and left field. Drive out to left field and not Gage Hoover, this is Luke Lawson who's come in to play left field. Makes the catch for out number 1. Brings to the plate Drew Plummer, who had a hard hit ground ball. Drove in 2 runners, but hit off of Nathan Aguilar's glove. Ruled by this broadcaster as an error, but for statistical purposes for the fall, Coach McGuire gets the final decision. Fly ball down the right field line. Ray Mashinsky cannot negotiate that outfield wall down that right field line, and he was, you could see, pretty timid. Not sure if there wasn't anybody over there to tell him how close he was to the wall, and he got a glove on it, but kind of short-armed it. So a long foul ball. Drew Plummer gets another pitch to see from Caden Blackford with Noah Ward on at first base. Started right before the 5 o'clock bell here on campus. Another pop up to the right side. Out goes Overbay, and in comes Mashinsky, and he says, that's a whole lot easier. I don't have a wall to contend with. And he was able to get Overbay to get clear of him where he didn't have to worry about Corbin. After a leadoff walk to Noah Ward, Blackford has retired the next 2 batters. Now Connor Paul gets his first plate appearance. Two-way player Connor Paul. One of the 6 left-handed batters. Pitch is, I believe, should be called a strike. Base there, he's saying it's a called strike. Noah Ward gets a stolen base. Gets at least his 2nd stolen base of the spring or the fall. 0-1 is tapped just to the left of home plate. Count goes no balls and 2 strikes. It's always a guess as to where I've put these two-way players. Do I put them on my pitcher's sheet or on my hitter's sheet? Looks like Connor Paul is on the hitter's sheet. 6'2", 215-pound freshman from Ravenwood High School. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch, and Blackford gets his first no-run, no-hit inning of the fall. Did give up a leadoff walk, but able to get 2 flyouts and a strikeout. Get him some positive mojo going, even though he was wearing the blue jersey of the batter that he just struck out, Connor Paul. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Blackford with only the 1 walk as the blemish. We are through 4 innings, 4-2. The Blue Squad leads. Go ahead and leave it right here. I'll give you a little bit of a recap. Blue Squad are the visitors today, and they have 4 hits in 4 innings. 2 hits in the second. They scored 1 run there on an RBI by Nathan Aguilar. And a 3-run home run by Brody Melton in the third after 2 batters reached via the walk. Brody Melton delivered his first home run of the fall over in the home bullpen in left field. For their 4 runs, the Red Squad scored 2 runs in the second. Walked a Jacob Hyder and a single by Cannon Lewis. And Drew Plummer's line drive, hard hit ground ball up the middle that Nathan Aguilar could not field for an error, and 2 runs scored there. Otherwise, no other hits. So Red Squad only 1 hit. I'm sorry, 2 hits. Jack McGlory has the other one. And the Blue Squad will come to the plate to face Chip Harris. 5th pitcher for the Red Squad. Another Clarks Vegas freshman. 4 Clarksville players this year. Chip Harris will face Cam Hodges, Lex Falsoni, and Zach Zimmerly. It'll be Hodges' first plate appearance of the game. First pitch swinging, hits off the top of the screen. Hodges from Sevierville, Tennessee. Chip Harris, 6'2", 210-pound freshman. Son of Granville and Melinda Harris, brother to Smith, Sawyer, and Anna. Grandson of G Mama, Pop, and Nana, all in Clarksville, Tennessee. 2 balls and a strike to Cam Hodges. Popped that one up on the right side. Jack McGlory will call off. I believe that is who we got out there at first base. That is Cannon Lewis now. So Hodges retired on a pop out to Jack McGlory, the second baseman. He allowed no award to call him off on one that was probably his ball, but this time McGlory exerts dominance there. Good job by Jack. And we're going to have a pinch hitter. John Carter swings and misses at the first pitch. He gets his first plate appearance. He's hitting for Lex Falsoni, who will go back in the game as the catcher. He's now down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. This is John Carter's first at bat of the fall. 6'6", freshman first baseman from Milan, Tennessee. 245 pounds. Fastball misses up. He is the son of Michael and Sarah Carter, brother to William, James, and Thomas. And a check swing toward first base. Cannon Lewis will field and flip underhand to Chip Harris, who looked like he was feeling around for that bag at first and then able to squarely stick that right foot in the middle of the pillow for out number 2. Carter did not mean to swing at that, but would have been a great bunt if that was what he was thinking. And he had a lot more speed. So Falsoni actually is going to get an AB. So you're talking about messing up a score sheet. Coach McGuire has stuck an AB in the middle here, so you can do that on an inter-squad game. So I'll have to fix that somehow or another. And apparently we had 2 strikes, now 3 strikes. As Lex Falsoni will go in a 1-2-3 inning by Chip Harris. We will head to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-2, the Blue Squad leads. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Assistant coach Shane Kemp hitting some ground balls to Logan Molnar out at shortstop in between innings here to give him a little bit of work and let coaches at WKU see him at least play defense. He's not hitting thus far in the fall, but he can do some defensive drills, limited wise. Right arm throwing is not an issue. He had labrum surgery on the left shoulder. But Molnar will take a few there in the infield just to give them a look. As our new pitcher, Alex Qualls, formerly the public address announcer and DJ this past spring during his medical red shirt. Now throwing again with the new tight short haircut. Still haven't seen him without that hat on yet, but he is on to face Cooper Wallace. And it looks like Heath Nichols is standing on deck. So each team now will get the 11th batter in the lineup in there before they go to the top. Qualls missed with the first two here to Cooper Wallace. And now 3-0. Alex working his way back to game action. 5'9", 160-pound redshirt sophomore, third-year player at Vol State. And he'll get one right down the can there for 3-1 count. Cooper Wallace, 6 foot, 175-pound freshman from Clarksville Academy. And he'll take ball 4. So Heath Nichols steps in, gets his first plate appearance of the fall. Freshman from Hillwood High School, 5'10", 140-pound business management major. Son of Tony and Grace Nichols. Brother to Garrett and Chase. Throw over to first base, and Wallace is back. Quall's probably just trying to change things up. Runner goes. Throw down to second base is a one hopper, not in time. Safe call. Going to call a strike to Heath Nichols. It's a runner in scoring position. Time called. Busy trying to figure out how to put this on a score sheet. One ball, one strike to Heath Nichols. He grounds the second. That'll get the job done and get the runner over. So good job, Heath Nichols. Can't drive him in, at least get him over. It brings the top of the order, Reggie Cooper, to the plate. He struck out and walked. Bottom of the fifth inning here in this inter-squad game between the Ball State Blues and the Ball State Reds. Cooper bends away from a breaking pitch. It's called a strike. Reggie had a couple of long balls this past spring for Cleveland State. He's looking out at J.C. Menendez, wondering how he called that one a strike. But an 0-2 count. See if Qualsey comes back with another breaking pitch. Maybe a fastball up. He does not. That is right on the outside corner fastball. Reggie Cooper went up there and looked at 3 straight strikes. 2 out. Stephen Bell steps to the plate. Qualls gave up a leadoff walk on a stolen base. Trying to get out of the jam. Stephen Bell laces one down the right field line. It goes foul, though, and hops off of the brick wall down the right field line. Somebody comes out of the bullpen down there and retrieves that one. Stephen Bell ground out to the pitcher and was hit by a pitch on a full count. Thanks for joining me today on the Ball State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter. Qualls breaking pitch low and outside. Gage Hoover back out in left field, and Zach Zimmerly in center. Reed Mashinsky still in right field. Ludeman Aguilar on the left side, and Overbay and Melton still on the right side. I think after this inning you'll see some changing. Nice block by Falsoni behind the plate. Count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. Melton will end up going over to third base. Lana Luderman will come and get behind home plate. Mashinsky move over to center, and Zach Zimmerly will take his spot at center field. That's going to be trouble. That's in the gap in left center field. And that will get down and roll all the way to the wall. Stephen Bell will continue on to third. Aguilar with the return throw. The relay will get Stephen Bell at third base. Bell got a little bit greedy there, but he did drive in a run with a do-dat double to get the Red Squad one run closer as that ball got into the gap. But Zimmerly comes up with it and gets it to the cutoff man, Nathan Aguilar, who delivers a strike to Landon Luderman at third base to cut down Stephen Bell for out number 3 to end the 5th inning. So 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We are through 5 innings. Not sure how long we're going to go, but we'll go as long as there are pitchers to pitch, I assume. So we'll take a break and tell you about the new pitcher. We return on the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese back at Western Kentucky, where the Pioneers have driven north on I-65 to come play an inter-squad game in front of the WKU coaching staff. Originally scheduled to be a contest against Southwest Illinois College. A scheduling snafu caused them not to be here. So Mark Rardin, R-A-R-D-I-N, the head coach here at Western Kentucky in his 2nd year, along with Rob Fournier. Fournier, I think it's Fournier, F-O-U-R-N-E-I-E-R, his assistant coach, longtime head coach at Wabash Valley. And their staff getting a good look at the Pioneers as Zach Zimmerly will face his former teammate Theron Lee. Zimmerly, a redshirt freshman, Theron Lee, a true freshman, facing each other in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Both of them played for the Commandos at Hendersonville High School, just down the road from Vol State Community College. Zimmerly 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Theron Lee, 6'2", 165-pound freshman, fire science major, the son of Quentin Lee and Amy Austin. There's a breaking pitch called strike on the inside corner. Corbin Overbay on deck. Top 3 in this order are yet to get a hit. Breaking pitch stays inside. Zach Zimmerly, Corbin Overbay, and Landon Luderman. 0 for 4 with 2 walks, 2 runs scored. Fastball misses low and away. And Zach Zimmerly, who played 4 years in the full count high school wood bat fall league, stepping in there with full count ministries, full count. Taps one down that third base line. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, but it will roll foul. And a full count first pitch foul ball. Theron Lee has a Pops and a Nana and a Granddaddy Mike and a Connie and a Nanny in Frank. But I don't know where they live. And a younger brother, Samuel. So I still need to get some information from Mr. Lee. So he misses with that pitch, and Zimmerly will reach on a leadoff walk here in the 6th. Fourth walk by Team Red pitchers today. Corbin Overbay 0 for 2, strikeout and a pop out. Breaking pitch is down in the turf and gets away from Jacob Hyder. Zimmerly will move down to second base on the wild pitch. Outfield still the same for the red team: Webster, Cooper, and Bell. Another pitch in the dirt that's backhanded by Jacob Hyder. Still out there at third base, and Plummer at short. Heath Nichols in at second base. Cannon Lewis down at first. Ground ball to Heath Nichols. He will glove and throw onto first base. And just as in the previous half inning, batter moves the runner over to third base with less than 2 outs. So a productive out by Corbin Overbay brings Landon Luderman to the plate. With an insurance run down at third base. And that run's going to come in. A runner will come in to score as Landon Luderman drives one up the middle for an RBI single. The first pitch he sees from Theron Lee. And the blue squad goes up 5-3. Zimmerly scores his second run of the ball game. Brody Melton steps in. Big fly Brody. 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. Had 4 to my recollection last fall. I think he and Tyler Holsworth tied for the lead in home runs a year ago. As that pitch backhanded by Hyder, and Luderman took a couple steps toward second base, but able to scramble back to the base before Hyder's throw got down to Lewis. Another throw down to first base, and that was not in time. Pitch called a strike. Large press box up here. Wide open. 1, 2, 3. Pretty good size garage door windows. Got one of them opened. Nice pleasant evening here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. We started at 82 degrees. Let's see what we're at currently. Dip down to 78 now. Supposed to go down to 56 degrees later. That one's on the outside corner. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brody Melton. Reed Mashinsky on deck. Theron Lee delivers just outside of a Full Count Ministries full count. Josh Carmen, the Director of Baseball Operations. Reed Glover, Director of Discipleship and Resources. And an outstanding board of directors for Full Count Ministries. And there's another full count first pitch foul ball. Nathan Davenport started the ministry of sorts on a backpacking mission trip to Nicaragua with an outfit called XMA. Terry Parks, I think that was in about 2009, maybe 2010. Come to the banquet on next Tuesday at Long Hollow Church. You might get to hear the whole story. That is a fisted line drive into center field. Brody Melton has his second hit of the ball game. He got jammed on that, but Melton, a very strong young man, able to fight that one off and get it up the middle. So a walk, stolen base, a ground out, put a runner at third with one out, back-to-back singles. Have one run in and two on for Reed Mashinsky. He's also got a single and two plate appearances. A little bit outside that pitch. Mashinsky, 6'3", 170-pound redshirt freshman from Bradenton, Florida. Lakewood Ranch High School in 2022. Graduated. Son of Mike and Karen Mashinsky. Fastball misses out. I think each pitcher either on a pitch count or maybe a certain limited number of batters to face. Breaking pitch that Mashinsky just missed. He's got a Grampy and a Grammy in Sarasota, Florida. He is one of three Floridians on the squad. Noah Eatman from Parrish, Florida. Our umpire today, J.C. Menendez from Miami, Florida. And Reed Mashinsky, second-year player from Bradenton. 2-2 pitch. He goes that opposite way again and gets it off the netting. Cannon Lewis throws that ball to the catcher. J.C. Menendez, our umpire, says, "Hey, where are you throwing that ball?" Five for nine as Mashinsky is. There's a balk right there by Theron Lee. They're not going to call it, but as a play was being run at second base, I don't know if J.C. Menendez is trying to say it's a full count now with that balk. If a balk is not, would not be a ball on the batter, that would be each of the runners would move up a base. I'm not sure if he called that balk. Waiting to see maybe if JC put his fingers up again, but we might have a full count. Might be 2 balls and 2 strikes, but and he did call that a must have called that a balk, but anyway, Mashinsky will draw the walk, and they'll go ahead and call an end to the inning as Theron Lee faces 2 and retires 1 batter. We will move to the bottom of the 6th. 1 run does come across. 2 hits, 2 walks in this modified Intra Squad scrimmage here at the campus of Western Kentucky University between the Vol State Blues and the Vol State Reds. Take a break. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Five to 3, the Blues lead the Reds. We'll have a World Series at the end of the fall season between Reds and the Blues. Not sure if it'll be this exact lineup for each team. We shall see as Drew Webster steps in to face Cooper Anderson. Anderson gets his half inning of work as Webster ducks out of the way of that breaking pitch that came out of the hand a little bit too early from the 6 foot, 175-pound freshman from Ravenwood High School. He's from Franklin, Tennessee, son of David Anderson and Christina Sargent. Pitch and misses down low. 2-1 pitch grounded down to third base, and Melton, who's moved across the field, is gloves, throws on the run over to Carson Sanders to retire Drew Webster. Nice play by Brody Melton. See if we can go over the defensive changes. Landon Luderman now behind the dish. I think it's Luke Lawson out in left field as Jacob Hyder steps in. Put a yellow star there on the 5 of Brody Melton. Also a nice dig out by Carson Sanders. Brody Melton's moved over to third base. Zach Zimmerly at short. Corbin over base, still at second base. And as I said, Carson Sanders at first. Luke Lawson in left. Reed Mashinsky has moved over to center field, and that should be Cam Hodges, and it is out in right field. Just a bit outside. Cooper Anderson looks back at J.C. Menendez, wanting to know what that call was. That slider moves Hyder back. Again, goes 3 balls and a strike. Hyder walked and scored in the second, struck out in the third. And he'll take another walk. That ball gets away from Luderman. He'll hustle over to the on-deck circle to snag that baseball. Kanan Lewis steps in. Strike called. 1 out, 1 on. Lewis 1 for 2. He singled in the second and later scored. Cooper Anderson pitched in game 3. That was up at Lebanon. Got an inning of work. Walked 1 batter. There's a nice breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Anderson faced 4 batters, had 2 ground outs, a pop out, and a walk. I believe that's his only outing of the fall so far. Just a little bit outside, and we'll have a 2-2 count, I guess. Foul ball that will get out of the stadium, hopefully over the road. Yes. Parker White and Noah Eatman are the spotters sitting up in the stands. Not sure who's the go-getters, but nice block by Luderman on a pitch low and outside. We'll have a full count, Ministries, full count. We've had plenty of subs in this ball game. Those are brought to you by Jersey Mike's, the best sub around as voted by this broadcaster. Jersey Mike's located right across the street from campus. Line drive out to right center field. That will get down for extra bases, and Lewis pick up another extra base hit. He'll pull in at second with a double on the full count, and that puts runners at second and third with one out. Cannon Lewis now 2 for 3. Split the gap in right center field as Mashinsky and Hodges could not get to it. So a doodat double off the bat of Cannon Lewis. And the Red Squad has runners at second and third. Noah Ward steps to the plate. Ward grounded out and walked. Stole second, but was stranded at second base. Anderson now a little bit gun shy to put one over the plate. Noah Ward and Walker Strange, two strong young men from Knoxville, Tennessee, to face Cooper Anderson. There's a breaking pitch. Anderson looked like he took a little bit off of that one and able to slide that one right over the outside corner for the first strike. Infield playing in. Another pitch called at the letters for a strike. Head coach McGuire now down the first base line as he's moving into fair territory. You see him down there. Another pitch. That looked better than the other one. Called a ball, and we'll have a full count. Ministries full count. Coach McGuire now out at the second base position. If Overbay was playing regular, there's ball 4. Noah Ward apparently doesn't want to walk, and he's not going to. I thought that was ball 4. Maybe I miscounted. We'll try another full count. Ministries full count. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. It is out number 2. First strikeout by Anderson. And that will end the inning. So just 4 batters come to the plate. Going to go ahead and change it out. Cooper Anderson will get 4 batters. He will retire 2 of them. Walk 1. Gives up 1 hit, no runs. 1 strikeout. So we will head to the 7th inning. It's Jack McLaury coming out to get a half inning of work, or 4 or 5 batters. We'll see. We'll take a quick break on the Ball State Sports Network. Tim Reese back on the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter. My Twitter's not working so well up here in Bowling Green. Not sure what's happening, but hopefully if you're trying to watch or listen to Vol State baseball on Twitter, then you're not having any problems. YouTube showing 30+ folks watching this inter-squad matchup between the Blues and the Reds. All of Vol State. Jack McGlory on for the Red Squad. He's been playing second base. Took a little break to move out, get warmed up in the bullpen. He will face Carson Sanders, I believe Gage Hoover. That is Gage on deck. First pitch inside, ball one. And then Nathan Aguilar. That one will get down the third base line, but will just go foul. Sanders 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. Outfield still the same for the Red Squad as McGlory drives down on a sidearm pitch right there, and it was driven into right field by Carson Sanders. Been very impressed with that young man, Carson Sanders. He's had some good swings this fall. Another very strong, compact body. He is now 1 for 2. Gage Hoover stands in. Pretty similar frame as Carson Sanders from my view. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner. McGlory will throw from 3/4. Then he'll drop down sidearm as well. So 3/4, a swing and a miss by Hoover, and he's now down in the count 0-2. He singled in the second inning in his only at bat. He's 1 for 1. Drops down there, and breaking pitch stays inside. So Vol State back in action against an opponent this Sunday. First game at 11 o'clock Central at John A. Logan Community College. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And Hoover down looking for out number 1. Carson Sanders still at first with Nathan Aguilar to the plate. 11 o'clock and a 4 o'clock contest against Frontier Community College in Illinois. The first game is against Lincoln Trail. It's going to be at 2 different venues. John A. Logan and then Rent One Park. Runner starts to go. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. So I am going to effort to set up, tear down, set back up again, tear down, all the while riding the bus to Carterville, Illinois, and back in the same day. It's going to be a long day. Slow ground ball or slow breaking pitch hit too short. They'll only get 1. They get the lead runner as Aguilar hits into a fielder's choice. Aguilar now 1 for 3. Plummer delivers the force out at second base to Heath Nichols. Tyler Holsworth getting his second plate appearance. He was hit by a pitch on a full count in the second inning. See if Aguilar takes off at some point as that pitch in the artificial turf for ball 1. Fully artificial turf field here at Nick Dennis Field. There's a ground ball that will scoot through on the right side. Bell comes up with it. He'll get it back into the infield. Tyler Holsworth with a base hit to right field. That brings Lex Falsoni to the plate. So 2 hits in the inning. Assume this is the last batter of this inning. This will be the 5th batter that McLaurie faces. He steps off the rubber, and J.C. Menendez makes sure that everybody knows that's his one disengagement for this batter. Breaking pitch is buckles Falsoni a bit. Called strike. Zach Zimmerly getting his batting gloves on deck, but sidearm delivery, and that will get through into left field. Aguilar, that's going to try to score. Throw to the plate is going to be in time by Drew Webster, and that will end the inning. That's exactly what you want to do when you know that you're the last batter. Go ahead and try to score. But a nice throw by Drew Webster. Guns down Nathan Aguilar for the 3rd out. But Falsoni with his first hit of the contest. No runs, 3 hits in the inning. No errors. 2 runners left on base. 5-3, the Blues lead the Reds. We'll be right back with Pitching Change. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Blues. Max Castle, 6 foot, 175-pound freshman from Clarksville, Tennessee, Clarksville Academy. He's an accounting major, son of Glenn and Elizabeth, brother to Harrison, Casey, and Caroline, grandson of Grandmummy from Cullowhee, North Carolina. Nope. Grandmummy's from Franklin, North Carolina. Mimi from Cullowhee, North Carolina. Castle will come on to face Walker Strange. Drew Plummer and probably Thedrick Harris. Strange 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Catches the corner. Does Max Castle. Not sure what he's bringing it up there at, but he's getting it up there pretty quick. Breaking pitch misses inside. Nope. JC on the wrong side of the mound to call that one, but called that one a strike. And so Walker Strange going to have to be swinging at anything close here. And he does. Fouls that one off, and see if that catches a vehicle driving by. Breaking pitch gets down in the turf. Gets away from Luderman. Castle's second appearance of the fall. Swing and a foul tip into the mitt. Down goes Strange on strikes. Brings it to play Drew Plummer. Castle threw an inning against the Cumberland JV squad. It's a 9-inning ball game up in Lebanon. Give up 2 hits, 3 runs, only 2 were earned. Walked 1. He was the third pitcher in that contest. He was his own enemy there as he threw a ball over the first baseman's head on a attempted sacrifice bunt. Popped up down the right side, and it will get out of play and bounce into the street. As I believe that's Carson Sanders down at first base. Along with Corbin Overbay, but they weren't able to make a play. The team barber, Carson Sanders, first baseman. Plummer starts to go, and Menendez wants to check with the first base umpire, and we don't have one. JC umpire from behind the pitcher. I could call them from right here whether or not they're over the plate, but my perception of up and down are skewed. The breaking pitch whispers at the inside corner, and Drew Plummer will look at a full count. Ministries full count. Swing and a miss on a slow breaking pitch. Didn't get that second strike up there. Now we'll do it. 2 strikeouts for Max Castle. A lot better start to his inning than up at Cumberland last week. And Thedrick Harris will get another AB. Struck out looking in the second. After having a monster game on Saturday. Pops one down that right field line. That will get down in fair territory and be played by Cam Hodges to hold Thedrick Harris to a single. So bloop single down that right field line. Put them where they ain't. Thedrick. 2-out knock. Where the redshirt freshman brings to the plate Jack McLaurie. Gets his second at bat. Singled in his only other appearance. Swings at the first pitch, and pitchers like it a lot better when the left-hander fouls them off because they can get those a whole lot easier. Doesn't go into the street, stays on campus. And a strike called. Wide zone there for Mr. Menendez. That one not handled by Landon Luderman. Tried to backhand that one and handcuffed him and kicks down that third base line. Runner moves up to second base on what I would think might be a pass ball. Not sure if he was crossed up on that or not, but it looked like he could have handled that one. Laurie a chance to drive in a run. There's another breaking pitch in the dirt. This one blocked by Landon Luderman started the game at third base, now moved behind the plate. Coach Jim McGuire moving several players around. Brody Melton started at first. He's now at third. Zach Zimmerly started at center. He's now at short. 2-2 pitch. Misses inside. Gloria had to move that back leg out of the way, or might have been hit. Still some players with blue jerseys down in the right field bullpen. Fly ball out to center field with 2 outs, and center fielder Reed Mashinsky will make the play. And that is out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th, 5-3. The Blues lead the Reds. New pitcher on the mound for the Red Squad, R.J. Moore, redshirt freshman, 6'1", 180 pounds, from Beach High School. He's from Goodlettsville, Tennessee, son of Ricardo Moore in Goodlettsville and Brooke Heiler in Nashville. 2 younger sisters, Joy and Hope, and a Nana in Nashville, along with a Papa and a Gigi in Nashville. On for his 2nd appearance of the year. Pitched in game 3 at Lebanon. Got an inning worth of work. Did not give up a hit or a run. Walked 2, struck out 2. Looking to get that breaking pitch and fastball over the plate. Either draw some weak contact or swing and miss. And he will face big John Carter. Gets his 2nd at bat. That sails over the glove of Jacob Hyder. Hard to get it over John Carter's head. He's 6'6". Two balls and no strikes to freshman from Milan, Tennessee. Grounded out. He had a check swing that rolled to the first baseman, who underhanded to Trent Miller. Two-one count to John Carter, who's hitting in a DH role. The 11th batter in the lineup. Drives one to left field deep, and back goes, is that Webster? And John Carter has just gone big fly for the Blues. Congratulations to John Carter from Milan, his first hit as a collegiate. It's in an inter-squad game, but That still feels good off the bat. John Carter with his first home run of his collegiate career. Comes here at Western Kentucky. Probably never forget it. Zach Zimmerly steps to the plate. Looks like Jacob Hyder might have been crossed up there as he's going to go out and talk to RJ and say, hey, that's not what I called. John Carter, a strong young man, you make a mistake to him, and apparently he's going to make you pay as he put that one into the bullpen in left field, and that pitch nearly hits Zach Zimmerly. So Beach High School versus Hendersonville High School, big rivalries in high school. Now teammates. I'm pretty confident that these two guys, after being together a year ago and both red shirting, don't have any animosity anymore from their high school days. But Zimmerly now looking at a 3-ball, no strike count, and he's walked twice already today. Struck out as well. Actually looking for a pitch to hit. Let's see if on a 3-0 count he'll go ahead and take a hack. No chats have come in as the lid keeps flying off of RJ, and it's a 4-pitch walk. So a leadoff home run by John Carter. Now a walk to Zimmerly brings up Corbin Overbay. Landon Luderman on deck. That one gets by the catcher, and Zimmerly will move up 90 feet. This is what RJ Moore is going to need to get corrected if he wants to get on the mound this spring. He is going to have to throw strikes and avoid barrels. There's one in there for a called strike. Looks back at Zimmerly at second, who's continuing to creep off. Ground ball gloved by RJ, and he throws to third base, but the throw is high, and Zimmerly gets down underneath the tag. Ball actually came out of Walker Strange's glove, and a fielder's choice puts runners now at first and third. The right play by Moore, but he just rushed the throw, and it was just too high. Zimmerly with a do or die hop off the base there at second base. He was expecting that ball to get through, and line to line runners at the corners. RJ wearing covering over his head. Maybe he needs a little bit bigger hat. Coach McGuire now moved over behind the first base position. Runner goes. Strike called and no throw made. There's Keith Bell chiming in on the chat. Luderman started to go, and Menendez is waiting for somebody to make a call. I think there's a chance that Luderman actually went, but I'm going to say that JC did not call the strike. Keith Bell asking why, who came here for a inner squad. I'll tell you, after this line drive base hit gets into right field, Luderman drives in 2 runs with a Single in the right center field. 2 more runs for the Blues. Now 3 RBIs on the evening for Landon Luderman. He's now 2 for 3. Drives in Overbay and Zimmerly. The Pioneers were originally scheduled to come up here and play Southwest Illinois College in basically a showcase for Western Kentucky so that they could see players from each of the squads, but somehow another Southwest Illinois College did not get it on their schedule. So the communication to Southwest Illinois just apparently fumbled somehow or another. Not really sure how that happened, but apparently there were emails, and I guess there wasn't any confirmation email back. But so that wasn't found out until yesterday. So head coach Mark Rardin with WKU and Jim McGuire decided that go ahead and just come on up and we'll have an inter-squad game, and the WKU staff will watch all of the Vol State players. So obviously Vol State gets a lot more action and looks in front of the WKU staff. So that's why Pioneers traveled just an hour up the road, a little over an hour from Gallatin, Tennessee. You know, on I-65 and head north into Kentucky, about 20 miles in off of I-65. R.J. Moore checks the runner at first and delivers to Brady Melton. That's Brody Melton. I may have missed a ball. It might be 2-2. I got 1-2 up on my scoreboard. No scoreboard being run here at the ball field. Thought there was going to be some music in between innings. Guy on the staff here at WKU asked if that'd be okay, and I said sure, that wouldn't be any problem at all. But something not working as Melton fights off a slider from R.J. Moore. J.C. Menendez, I think, is saying it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll go ahead and change my scoreboard. Melton, 3-run homer in the 3rd and a single in the 6th. Throw over to first base and Luderman back. Brody having a big day, 2 for 3. Looking to get 3 hits in the ball game. Ball misses up. We'll have a full count. 5th batter that R.J. Moore has faced here in the inning and has not retired a batter yet. Did have a ground ball back to him. Instead of throwing to first, he tried to get Zach Zimmerly at third base, and throw was high. Breaking pitch on that outside. No. Call that ball 4. I thought that might have been strike 3, but doesn't matter. They're going to move on to the next inning anyway. So second walk in the inning. John Carter with a solo shot to lead off the inning for his first hit in collegiate action. It's a big fly to left field. 2 other runs do come in, 3 runs on 2 hits. No errors. Guess you probably could call that an error on the throw to third base. I have to ask my scorekeeping guru, Ken Stegall of the scorers table. Not positive that I think a good throw would have gotten Zimmerly at third base, but anyway, not sure how many pitchers we got left. This might be the last pitcher. Take a quick break and tell you about the new pitcher. We return on the Vol State Sports Network. Tim Reese back for the bottom of the 8th, and this looks like it might be the last pitcher. At least it's the last one on the sheet that I saw before the game. Garrett Bruce, 5'11", 150-pound freshman from Gallatin, Tennessee, by way of Rancho Cucamonga, California. Graduated Gallatin High School this past May. Right-hander, exercise science major, the son of Brent and Tiffany Bruce. He will face Reed Mashinsky. I think that's Reed. No, it is not. Got the wrong sheet here. Umpire getting a little lax out there. I'm not sure what he's calling now. It's the Red Squad. I believe this is Heath Nichols. Nichols grounded out to second base. Breaking pitch gets in there for a called strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. All 3. Full count. Garrett Bruce delivers. Breaking pitch is swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Landon Luderman. Nichols down on strikes. Bruce goes to the breaking pitch to get Heath Nichols, and Reggie Cooper, the leadoff batter, steps in. Another breaking pitch that misses down low. Reggie's not giving the appearance that he's looking for a breaking pitch. He wants to hit fastballs just like that one on the outside corner, but maybe a little bit closer to his body. 1-1 pitch. Cooper looking for his first hit of the contest. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, struck out twice. Time called. Don't see anybody down in the left field bullpen where the red team would be warming up. And according to the sheet that I have, 8 pitchers on each squad will throw, and this is the 8th for the blue team. I just walked him, so see if I can unwalk him. Maybe they called that a strike. There's a base hit. Well hit into left field. Reggie Cooper gets on the board with a base knock. So 1 out base hit by Center fielder of the red team brings up Stephen Bell. He had a do-dat double in the 5th. One for 2 and a hit batter. Transfer from four-year school Alderson Broadus in West Virginia. Not only did the baseball program shut down at Alderson Broadus, but the entire school shut down. He was looking for a new home. Fouls that one off. That will get on the roof of the hitting facility, just to the left of the press box. I'm just going to give you the name of the press box. I took a picture. Throw over to first base, not in time. Jack and Janice Glasser press box that I'm sitting in. I mean, there are plenty of seats up here. Runner goes to second base, and Reggie Cooper is going to be picked off, caught stealing. It's the second time this fall that has happened. Put out 1-6 for out number 2. With 2 outs, Stephen Bell, an 0-2 pitch misses down low with Garrett Bruce trying to retire the 3 batters that he faces. From the windup and a hesitation, and he will get it done. Stephen Bell swings over the top of that one. And that will end the scrimmage. 2 hours and 45 minutes long as the Blues defeat the Reds 8-3. Big blows by Brody Milton, a 3-run home run. In the 3rd, John Carter with a solo shot in the 8th. And 16 pitchers delivered half-inning outings. Some went the full 3 outs and some did not. But Pioneers will pack it up and head back to Gallatin tonight. Practice on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, probably Saturday as well, and then back in game action, a doubleheader on Sunday as we will travel to Carterville, Illinois. Thanks for joining me today for this scrimmage at Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green, and appreciate your support of Vol State baseball and this broadcast. For Athletic Director Bobby Hudson and Head Coach Jim McGuire, this is Tim Reese saying so long from Western Kentucky University.